What is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 30. And we have a couple of topics. Don't know how long this podcast will be, but we're going to, just talk about it. Some big news here and there, of course. And we're going to first start off with God of War. So everyone knows God of War comes out April 20th. It's pretty soon. It's very soon, to be honest, and essentially 2 weeks, and we're like halfway through this week, so a week and a half for God of War to come out. But it's been announced and said that the game was gold, and people started getting review copies super early, and everyone gets to share their thoughts. The reviews start coming out the same day with the thoughts. Everything's supposed to come out April 12th, which is it's pretty soon, to be honest. That is 8 days before the game comes out, which a lot of developers don't even do. They don't even do it in a week, let alone 8 days for, reviews coming in that late, which to me seems like Santa Monica Studio is very confident in this game, along with Sony being very confident in this game. And that shows, because guess what? Once they have those reviews out, reviews are positive, everyone's going to know about it, and everyone's going to want to buy it. And that's great in terms of marketing too, as well. And it just shows how confident they are. They're very passionate about this project, especially Corey Balrog. And I always liked his work in God of War 2, and he wrote the outline of God of War 3, but everyone wants to not really understand that concept of an outline. An outline is just basically something that they follow, and they have to basically make everything up in between and that dialogue, so to speak. So Corey didn't actually create the whole entire story, entirety of God of War 3 story, and you can kind of see the different quality in story in God of War 2 and 3. But other than that, I think this is good news, and we're going to hear that. We see Jeff Keighley tweeting out that he got the review copy. We don't know when, because someone's like, oh, is it a short game? Because people would assume that he got it the day of. And he's like, dude, you don't even know when I got this game. Which it's a fact. And he probably got it for a week. He's probably been playing it for a week. So, and if he was doing these long gaming sessions as well, yeah. Because the game is about 25 to 35 hours, essentially. And Jeff will be able to give his thoughts on the game Thursday, along with the other critics for the game. And I'm super pumped. I want to hear a lot of people what they have to say and see what people think about the story, and as well as the combat, different enemy variations, and etc. So, Inspector, what do you think about having this review embargo coming so early before the game comes out? 8 days before the game comes out.
As you said, I think it just shows that Santa Monica has great confidence in this game, that they're releasing embargoes really early. And as you said on Twitter, Jeff Keighley be teasing that he's played the game, and to me, Jeff Keighley is one of the people I trust in the gaming community, just because he's a really cool guy, and he doesn't really get uptight about opinions and stuff. So I like Jeff Keighley, and I can't wait to see what critics think, and I think it's just going to make people more excited for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Marvel DC fan, what else do you think about this? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think that this will bode well for God of War?
I mean, yeah, honestly, like you said, it's awesome that they're really confident about, lifting the embargo. And for me, when it comes to watching developers and all that kind of stuff. If the developer is confident, like really confident about their game, to me that warrants a purchase alone. And it also kind of makes me excited about seeing how the critics will react to it, how the fan response will be, because I'm hoping that the game will be great, everybody will love it, and of course I'm gonna enjoy it. I actually played was with a friend and we beat God of War 3 not too long ago, and that kind of made me more excited than ever to play this game now. So
yep.
I'm ecstatic.
All right, what do you think, Claudia, about the review embargo being lifted 8 days before the game comes out?
I think the review embargo being lifted, I think that's a really good thing. And as well, with that Jeff Keighley as well, with him teasing the fans. I know it's a bit of a tease, but to me, it's a promising look. It's going to be a fabulous game when it comes out for everyone to play. And obviously, there is that collector's edition as well, for that PS4, the exclusive skin and all of that goes with the collector's edition, the PlayStation version, PlayStation 4. So if any of you guys, out there actually do get that, I think you're gonna have a blast.
Yep.
But I think personally, though, back to the main thing is that I think it's a really good thing that they're going to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I noticed, because I follow Corey on Twitter, and it seems like he was going back home, and I thought he lived in that area, which I'm very surprised as to. I'm assuming the Sony Santa Monica studios reached out to Corey and said, "Hey, you should work on this, work on God of War." I didn't know that he would be gone from his family for quite a while. And no, I know that they have, breaks and vacations Corey would take, but I didn't think of it as like in a way of like how directors are as well. You know what I mean? So like, Inspector, are you surprised by this?
I thought he was away from his family so much.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Yeah, that's very surprising. But I think when it comes to video game development, there's like a lot of like QA and a lot of like brainstorming sessions that you have to go through, and a lot of like just programming, and that takes a long time. So it's really long work days. It's pretty much from dawn to dusk for video game developers. So I'm both surprised and not surprised, kind of.
Yeah, and he also is, writing this game, so that's another like job he had to do as well, which is crazy. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about that? Are you surprised that he had to be away from his family?
Yeah, I'd like to be away for that long during that development process. It's just insane. Of course, you take breaks and stuff like that, but to be, that long away, it's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he left before the game, launched. He's now like I'm pretty sure he's just taking, vacation and stuff with that with his family now too, as well, like going out and to different countries as well. And he's still promoting God of War, saying like 15 days, 14 days, and all that. So, Taladia, what do you think? Do you think are you surprised that Corey, was away from his family for so long?
No. I actually think that the amount of time that he spent away from his family, it was quite a long, excessive time. But now that he's on that break and still promoting the game, it's a good sign, very good sign. But I'm on the same wavelength as well as Inspector what he said though. So
yeah. And also, he even promotes other people's games too, which I find very interesting. It's like a big Sony is like a big tight knit group. Like he even like went to Neil Druckmann at Naughty Dog and handed him a copy, which I found very, very interesting. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that these developers and the Sony first-party studios, have these type of interactions, brainstorm their ideas? Because I know that I think even the Horizon Zero Dawn people even, asked advice from Naughty Dog about their game and vice versa. Yeah, we'll start off with Spectre.
What was the question again?
Like, are you surprised that the Sony first-party studios amongst themselves, like, Sony Santa Monica Studio, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Studios are a big tight-knit group? Because you saw, like, Corey, handing Neil a copy on Twitter, and that even when we heard the Dev Diaries and that Horizon Zero Dawn people asked advice from Naughty Dog and vice versa.
Yeah, like I'm not surprised, because I think since they're all part of the Sony family, that they're kind of like all one big family, that they like constantly like work off each other and like ask advice from one another, because that's what makes great games. So, and it kind of shows, because like you see how the Sony first party studios are such a tight knit group, when all the Microsoft studios are all scattered. Like they don't really like, and there's really no like first party. There's like 343 and whoever does the Forza games.
And Gears, I forgot the
and the
Coalition. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
Coalition.
And didn't the Coalition just like splinter off from Epic Games? Like, weren't they like?
Yeah, so it's like essentially the same thing with 343. Some employees at Bungie left when Bungie left, so they just stayed at Microsoft. And Epic, there were some employees that wanted to make Gears, and then they went into Coalition.
Because now Epic is making tons of money with Fortnite. So.
Oh yeah.
So.
They're shutting down Paragon as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, Paragon's not making any money for them. So.
Yeah. Fortnite is making all the bank that they need.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not surprised. That's all I have to say.
What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about them, talking to each other, handing them, copies early of their games?
Honestly, like, I'm not really surprised, because I would assume, all these developers under the Sony kind of share would be so closely knit together. And I mean, I've seen, like, in Sony's case, this isn't really anything new, because I remember back like in the PS2 era, when Ratchet and Jak and Daxter were a thing, they would always nod, always they would give each other small references between games. So, I mean, obviously they would have some ideas kind of thought together and all that sort of stuff. So, in the end, I'm not too surprised on it.
I got you. Talati, what do you think about Sony? And
I'm not surprised either, because they're all under the same household name, which is Sony. So I think it's kind of cool that with each developer giving a copy to each other. I think it's a really cool thing, and I think that more developers that are apart under the same name as Sony will probably do the same thing in the near future. So yeah,
exactly. Now, quickly to talk about this big topic that's been happening over this whole entire, week, right? Is that Game Informer announced that, of course, that Spider-Man. They're covering Spider-Man for a whole month, and we got to see a couple of tidbits here and there, also with rapid-fire questions with the director of the Spider-Man game, Brian Intihar. We learned some very interesting things, but before going into that, we're gonna quickly talk about what they showed, and I'm gonna quickly, pull up and screen share for you guys all to see some things. Okay. All right. And there we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, we get the Game Informer cover for May, and it's Spider-Man, of course, and very something very interesting. The person that did the cover was Alex Ross. You guys know him if you're in the comic book realm. He's done a lot of good artwork and stuff like that. And I thought, the cover's really, really good, Alex. Alex, I don't know. Alex is always a good artist.
Yeah, he to me it just looks like a typical Game Informer cover. Like if you didn't tell me it was by Alex Ross, I would just think, oh, it's just another Game Informer cover.
Yeah. And I don't know. For me, it's like I'm surprised. For me, I thought it would look like it looks like to me like an image from the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that to me he made it. I assume from looking at his past works and even this, he tries to make it seem realistic, and I'm super surprised about that. And overall, we got the Game Informer. We got also some other things along with it, right? We got the cover, which I'll show right now. Spider-Man PS4 cover. And here we go. Okay. So this is some more stuff. So this is the digital deluxe edition, of course. If you get the regular edition, you get the game. That's what the cover of the game would be, along with a pre-order bonus of a Spider-Man physical pin. I don't know how that works when you buy a game digitally. That's very interesting. You also, I don't know if it comes with a season pass. I don't think so. You get
I don't think so either.
Yeah, you get your pre-order bonus. You get the Spider-Punk, along with 2 others that are revealed at later dates. I know one's in in the summer, or I think in July more particularly. And you also get the Spider Drone gadget, which is mostly inspired by the Spider-Man Homecoming, and also you get a Spider-Man PSN avatar, Spider-Man PS4 theme, and 5 extra skill points. Which is also good. And also, they announced a collector's edition. You get all this along with a mini art book, custom steelbook, Marvel's Spider-Man statue. They're revealing what he's on top of, summer 2018, a white spider sticker. And you also get the expansion pass or season pass for Marvel Spider-Man The City That Never Sleeps, 3 post-launch story chapters, new missions, suits, and characters. So you get mission chapters along with new missions, suits, and characters, which is, to me, sounds like a good thing. Missions I don't expect to be long, but story chapters I expect to be long. And you got your own, I don't know, save somebody or do something. That's what I would assume a mission would be. That's just me, though. But overall, what do you guys think about, I guess, the Spider-Man box art along with... I don't think we should talk about the digital deluxe edition. I mean, I guess you could talk about the pin and also the collector's edition. And I tell everyone right now, I bought the collector's edition. And the price for the collector's edition is $150. But if you buy it at Best Buy with a Gamers Club pass, you get it for $120 something. So you're saving bank, and also you receive credit, and you get to use that credit and get discounts on other stuff and get a bigger discount. We'll start off with Marvel DC fan. What do you think about what's been announced with the covers and different versions of the game?
Well, I can't put to words how excited I am. And I'm a little bit more excited than you guys for one reason. I mean, of course, finally we got a release date, which is September 7th of 2018. And another thing, it's actually 2 days before my birthday, so that'll be an awesome birthday gift.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But like all the tidbits that I've heard about it, in terms of like the cover, I'm not too excited about the cover of the game. It looks a little too plain for my taste. Like there's not really a whole bunch going on there. I'm excited for some of the content, like extra missions and story stuff. I'm really digging the Spider-Punk costume, and I don't know if you guys saw, they had a Q&A with one of the developers. Like they did a bunch of rapid fire questions.
Yeah, and there's some important stuff which we're gonna talk about that he discusses in some Game Informer stuff in the next topic. But overall, do you think are you gonna ask for the collector's edition, or you just going for the standard game?
I'm contemplating between going with the regular standard or the collector's edition. I'm still deciding between the two. And actually, I'll look it up right now. I have an article here, because I live in Canada, right?
Yeah,
and,
it's different.
Yeah, and I was looking up prices and stuff. In Canada, it's like $80 regular, and the collector's edition is around $200. So I don't know. I'm still a little iffy on it, but I'll let you know what I soon about it. I'm just excited overall about this. I am ecstatic from the Alex Ross cover all the way to what I've seen so far. I'm just really excited to play the game.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. I'm hyped for Sony's killing it this year. I mean, they're getting these games, Yakuza Ni no Kuni 2, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man, and then you got the third-party, deals along with, Black Ops and Red Dead Redemption. Sony's just killing it in the gaming market, and it's insane with it's just killer year for Sony. Give them props for that.
Yeah. Sony is doing a fantastic job overall.
Dude, I'm supporting them, dude. I got both collectors editions, one for God of War and the other for Spider-Man. And I can't wait. Inspector, what do you think about the release date along with different versions of the game, and what is up with the pit, and if you get the digital deluxe edition, do they mail it to you or something?
For the release date, it's a predictable release date. I think I predicted September, around Labor Day, because that's when most Spider-Man games come out. So it wasn't really a surprise for me. As Marvel DC fans said, the cover is kind of plain. I don't know if that's a final cover or if that's just a placeholder cover. I bet the red background is just placeholder. I bet they'll just put the city behind it or something to make it more dynamic, I guess.
Are you talking about this one? Wait 1 sec. Nah.
Yeah, just the plain cover. You're
talking about the box art.
Yeah, the box art.
No, I think this is finalized. I think the box art is finalized.
That's finalized?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the box art is finalized. God of War had
I think, yeah.
God of War had their box art for a while, and that didn't change as well. I thought you were talking about Alex Ross, Game Informer.
No, the Game Informer cover is fine. Like, to me, like, I like Alex Ross, but I think he's kind of overexposed himself in the past 5 years with doing all those Marvel Spider-Man covers. Yeah. And this is just another Spider-Man cover. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess he loves doing Spider-Man for some reason. I don't find his Spider-Man covers that appealing. But I've always preferred him at DC than at Marvel. Like, I think his style fits better at DC than Marvel. But overall, I'm excited, and I have no idea what's going on with the pin. That's
it's
a
like
weird word to call it.
like yeah, exactly. Like this is digital. So how does that work? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
I mean, so, I don't know, man. It's a little bit much for me. All right, so Taladio, what do you think? I'm hearing some rumblings, man. You might just get a PS4 for this game. You know.
Me, I'm very excited by this, hearing this news for the day. I and obviously for them to announce the release date today of all days, which is pretty unique. I've got to say I'm very excited for it, and that as well that yeah, Inspector did get his prediction right, because he did predict originally that it would be around August September time. So on his part, he actually got his prediction right. But me, I might be getting this though. That's the problem. I might be getting this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way I see it is the fact that the way you're getting what you're getting with the game. Like obviously I wouldn't be getting the collector's edition because obviously that's too pricey, but I would probably just still get the standard edition and just play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've just gotta find the time to sell off my Xbox really. If I ever decide to if I ever decide to make that switch, I'll just sell off my Xbox and buy a PlayStation.
Damn. Hey man.
Savage
game. You do you. I guess we're gonna quickly talk about the expansion real quick, and then we're gonna talk about some of the important details. Expansion, right? I think for me, the expansion, what they said, very broad. They don't know the actual specifics. All we know, right? They're calling it the city that never sleeps. 3 post-launch story chapters. Now, could that be? Is it after the game, or after the events of the game, or is it during like the actual in-game events, or is it after the in-game events? And also, new missions. That to me sounds like a very short thing. And then suits and characters. I don't know what the suits and characters. I would assume suits and characters means like Spider-Man 2099 or something like that. But overall, also, I give my advice to Insomniac: do not do. And I love Arkham Knight, right? But I didn't like what they did with the season pass. For me, I spent $40 on the season pass, which was pretty pricey. Everyone was like, "Wow, $40!" And I trusted Rockstar. I was like, I'm gonna get $40 worth. And to me, I didn't think it was worth $40, because of the really short, missions until the Season of Infamy. Season of Infamy was the best part out of all of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was worth $40. I thought it was worth $15, $20. And I didn't like the really short missions or story chapters, whatever it was called in Arkham Knight. I think Insomniac should learn from the mistake that Rocksteady did with that, and try to make the story chapters beefy. Missions, I don't have a problem with, right? Really need this, story chapters to be an hour to 2 hours long. That's what I think. But overall, we'll go with Inspector. Do you think this post-launch story chapters are in-game, after game, and do you agree with my stance that they should, not follow the route that Rocksteady did with the season pass, and learn from their mistakes with that?
I think, well, missions is like, when I say missions, like additional missions, that's very ambiguous.
Yeah, they're saying they got your story chapters plus new missions. That's like the separate thing.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I hope this. Yeah, I hope they do learn from Rocksteady, because those story packs were not good. And to me, I don't like. I guess the best one, if you call it best, was the Catwoman one, I guess, in Arkham Knight.
You're talking about her.
Yeah. her little story chapter, yeah. But I think the thing that brought that down is that they try to artificially make it longer by making it harder and not actually longer.
Mm-hmm.
If you get what I mean, because like all the other ones, like the Nightwing and the Robin ones, and the Red Hood ones, those were pretty easy. But the Catwoman one was
you literally can beat them in 15 minutes.
Yeah, like
tops.
But for the Catwoman one, it's still around 15 to 20 minutes, but they made every enemy like super hard to beat. So it made it more like 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like an artificial way to like lengthen something just to make it harder by not just lengthening it all to begin with. But I think, as you said, that did they announce the season pass?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I hope the season pass is nothing over $30.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they gave the individual season pass price, but if you get the collector's edition, it comes with it. So
if it's 120.
Well, okay. Well, 120 was for my Best Buy stuff.
Oh,
so because I have Gamers Club, it's 150. 150.
It's like 150. So that means, like, give or take, will probably be at least $20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Stonemason edition for God of War is 150 as well. That doesn't come with a season pass because
that comes with a steelbook and a statue, so it kind of.
I mean, Spider-Man also comes with a steelbook and a statue. But granted, they don't have the smaller items that God of War has as well.
Yeah. I'm not getting the collector's edition, but because I usually don't get collector's editions. Like I've only gotten a few. I've gotten the Mortal Kombat collector's edition, the Mortal Kombat X collector's edition, and I've gotten the Injustice Ultimate Edition, which wasn't really collector's edition. That's just an Ultimate Edition.
Steelbook case with
and same thing for God of War. I'm just getting the regular edition because like I already spend so much money with my credit card.
Yeah.
Like I get comics from Amazon and gas and school lunches and all that stuff. So like I don't want to spend that much money on just one game.
Yeah, I got you.
Because when I got the Mortal Kombat X Collector's Edition, I was still going to GameStop, but I don't go to GameStop anymore. So
no one goes, dude. I stopped going. I don't even pay for the power-up card thing.
Yeah, my power-up subscription ended in August of last year. I'm like, I don't care. Like the only reason I kept that power-up rewards card is for the Game Informer subscription.
Yeah.
And those are just paperweights in my closet, so they don't really do anything. I'm planning on just getting rid of all of my Game Informers because I don't read them.
Yeah. It's like anyone that's a gamer and wants to buy physical copies, just go to Best Buy or Amazon.
Yeah, I just ordered mine from Amazon because you can get it cheaper from Amazon.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Best Buy too. If you get the Best Buy Gamers Club.
Yeah, because if you have Prime, like you get on release day and you get a discount. So
yeah, but after release date, you're not able to get that same discount though, which is the only for Amazon.
Yeah,
which is the only con about Prime.
Yeah. I guess that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the expansion? Any advice for Insomniac? And do you think this is actually happens after the game events or actually in-game events? Because they say post-launch story chapters. I'm assuming the post-launch means after the game's launch, but I don't know if it's going to be after the game events.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure. Like, they could go in any number of ways. Like, they could be, after the story, before the story, even like somewhere like in the middle somewhere. Like, they could do anything if they wanted to. The missions, like, I don't know what to really think about them. It's just, it's a little too vague for my liking. So, I mean, there's that, and honestly, like, I'm tempted to see what they're gonna do, but also kind of hesitant at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like, if it's just for missions, like if they just put more crimes to stop on the map, like that'll be disappointing.
Yeah. When I was
So-
telling Inspector, because it's saying post-launch story chapters and new missions, so like post-story, launch story chapters are like more story, and that would mean different things to do, maybe different villain, subplot or something like that.
Yeah, and if there's anything I can really say about, post-game missions, make them longer than like 15 minutes. I mean, seriously. And I mean, and also, I mean, don't ramp up the difficulty. Like, that's not a good way to add time to it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I hated the Catwoman mission. Like, it had no reason to be difficult just for the sake of being longer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Overall, just I'm tempted but hesitant at the same time.
But don't forget, Red Hood, you get to play as Nightwing during the day and not at nights.
Dude, that didn't even look like the day. I was like, wait a minute.
It was all cloudy because it was still raining.
Dude, it looked hella white though. The clouds looked weird. I was like, what, am I like in purgatory or something? I was like, geez, that was. Oh man, anyone that defended that dude, that's straight up fanboyism at its finest. Oh gosh, that was bad. Claudio, what do you think about the season pass? With the post-launch chapters, along with new missions, along with suits and characters. What advice do you have for these? This expansion or this season pass? Yeah.
So, I think it's a good thing that they're bringing out a season pass and everything, and post missions and stuff like that. It's all good, but they need to learn from what the mistakes Rocksteady did, especially with what they brought out. Look at what Rocksteady did. The only brought out was skins, and Batmobile, and the extension pack was just simply story missions, 4 story missions, and that was it. And like, you didn't get much with it. They need to learn on what Rocksteady made mistakes. Like, I mean, what Rocksteady did was they made 4 different stories as DLC as a pre-order bonus. So you had the Nightwing, you had the Catwoman, Robin, and the Batgirl DLC, and all of them were most of them were really bad. The Batgirl one as well, I wasn't that really fan of it. Very confusing. And then, but what Spider-Man can learn from this is that they can actually introduce more stuff, more missions to the game, which I think that would be a very good thing for them to do. Hopefully they won't make the mistake that what Rocksteady did and give us some dull skins and be like, okay, here's the skins you're going to get. If you pay for this much, this is what you're going to get, and that would be it. But here's the thing, though. There's no microtransaction in the game. They've confirmed that as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that in the next topic with like the interesting information that's come out.
Yeah.
The rapid fire questions along with some of what Insomniac has said along with Game Informer.
It's like what we discussed though, like off stream, is like it's really cool of what they're bringing out though. So guys, I would recommend you guys pre-ordering this though. If you guys are huge Spider-Man fan, I would recommend getting it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this is gonna be a little rant. I gotta do it because it was very interesting. So I just don't understand how there's two different ones. There's the Xbox camp, the extremists. They're just like, this is a kid's game, and I'm just like, I literally facepalmed, and I was like, it's like, listen to your statement one more time. This is a kid's game. Okay, rated T. Okay, it's teenagers. Yes,
but yeah, you guys have Cuphead. which is
Exactly. And I'm like, do you pick up comics? I'm like a legit serious. Do you pick up comics? And like, what do you mean, man? They're all kid friendly Spider-Man comics. And I'm like, really? I'm like, Gwen Stacy's death is kid friendly. It's like Spider-Man trying to save her from falling off a bridge, and using his web, and she gets whiplash and dies and almost kills Green Goblin. That's Kitty, along with Spider-Man's death in the Ultimate universe. That's Kitty, and I can keep going on and on and on. Carnage is Kitty. It's like I don't understand.
Yeah,
I just don't. It's like for like the extremists for the Xbox fans. It's like to me, it's just like you don't understand what you're talking about when it comes to the superhero realm. So don't say something that is like that. I never understand that. I never could understand the concept. That's like mind-boggling. It gets me irritated as well because I'm a fan of Spider-Man. I'm a fan of a lot of superheroes. When you say something's Kitty when it's not Kitty, I have a problem with it. It's just like you don't have to hate something that you're not able to get. It's like it's fine that you don't have a PS4. And it's fine if you don't like Spider-Man, but don't go harassing people about enjoying these type of announcements and all that stuff. Because when you say something like that, it's untrue. You're gonna, get called out by many fans of people that like Spider-Man. Like he's up there with, Batman, up there with Superman, and I could keep going on and on. It's just like I don't understand when people say stuff like that. Just like it irritates me quite a bit, actually, to the point where you guys just when you're not knowing something or you're well versed in comics and stuff like that, or even movies and all that, just like you shouldn't say something that's ignorant. But that's me. I'll ask you, Inspector. What do you think about that type of stuff?
I think it's just stupid. As you said, like I think these people are just being ignorant. They're just saying, "Oh, it's just because like it's rated T and it's a superhero game that makes it kid friendly." Like the Batman, like I guess I can't really compare it to the Arkham games since they're kind of like saying the fact that since it's a PlayStation exclusive that they're criticizing it that way, so I can't really compare it to the Arkham games in that capacity. But as you said, like Spider-Man has had some pretty dark stories, like Kraven's Last Hunt, the death of Gwen Stacy, even recently,
also even Superior Spider-Man, and that was the last good Amazing Spider-Man run from Dan Slott.
Superior Spider-Man, like most of the JMS stuff was pretty dark, like one more, like as much as people hate One More Day, it's like one of the biggest Spider-Man stories ever, and he makes a literal deal with the devil to to wipe out his marriage. I'm pretty sure I pissed off Marvel DC fan by just mentioning One More Day, but yeah. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's stupid.
Oh yeah, One More Day, dude. It's polarizing in the Spider-Man fan base, to be honest.
God damn it! God, it never ends.
Oh yeah. Okay, Marvel DC fan. What do you think? What do you think about the Xbox extremists saying Spider-Man's kid friendly and it's gonna suck and all this stuff?
I think I'm pretty much I'm on the same boat as you guys, where it's just them being ignorant for the sake of being ignorant. Like these guys probably never picked up a comic book before and just watch maybe an episode or two of Ultimate Spider-Man, and then they're just like, oh, that's what Spider-Man is. But it's not. Like, it's more complex than, even I could think. Like, there's a lot of history, a lot of dark stories from, say, about the late 80s up until like now. Like, of course, like you said, Kraven's Last Hunt. J. Michael Straczynski, he had a couple stories in there which were dark. One More Day. God damn it. But it's just, it infuriates me when I see people of that ignorance. It's just, I want to punch them so goddamn bad, but I can't. So, it's just awful.
Yeah, I got you. Taladio, what do you think about the extremist Xbox fans? Your brethren, what do you think about them?
Please don't. Please. Please don't get me started with that, because I don't want to say, look, I don't really want to bring that side out of me, because if I say shit like this, it's actually not, obviously I don't want to talk about shit like that, but obviously they shouldn't be saying shit in the first place and go to the extreme length. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like, you know what, he's taking the side of this, that, and the other. So I don't really want to get too much into this. So
yeah,
I just want to move on. Next topic.
Okay. Okay. So got some more information. Brian Intihar, he's did a rapid fire questions, and it's a lot of people on Game Informer even talked about this. Rumors, right? I said this first. I said this, and I said it. Some people doubted it was going to happen. Some people were like, no, Red Hood, it's not going to happen. Never in a million years. They asked Brian Intihar when they were playing the Spider-Man game at Game Informer. They're like, dude, what's that big A building? And he's just like, if you don't know that, dude, just get out of here. Like, it's pretty damn self-explanatory. I was just like, oh, they're talking about the Avengers building. I was like, that's crazy. That's that's going to be very interesting. Now, Avengers building is in the game. Will it, cross over to, the Avengers game? Who knows? We have no idea. They're not going to talk about anything further with this game until we get our hands on it. And it's going to be very interesting. But overall, I'm not surprised that the Avengers building is in there. And if there will be a connection, remains to be seen. But I have this strong inkling that there will be a connection with the Avengers project. Well, and I think even in the Avengers project game that Square Enix is making, that I think Spider-Man will be in it. That's what I think. Because I think of it as the Marvel MCU, for example. Sony gave Marvel, the dish. I don't know how to explain. They lent Spider-Man to the MCU. So Sony makes money off of the Spider-Man movies, and Marvel uses Spider-Man for the MCU along with Avengers. And I think this is the same thing as well. And that's what I personally think is going to happen there. And I think that's very interesting because, it hasn't been done yet. And what I mean by that, and I don't want to be saying, oh, no, it hasn't been done. The universe hasn't been connected. Because, no, I understand the Arkham series, right? I understand that they gave references to Superman and all of that, but we haven't had a straight,
connected.
You know what I mean?
Because the Arkhamverse is just its own thing. It's completely separate from everything else.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, I think though Rocksteady will connect it with their next project, of course. I think that the Arkham universe will expand with Rocksteady with their games. I could be completely wrong. I could be saying things that will never happen for Rocksteady or even here. But I think Marvel wants to do this, and Marvel Games But that's me. We'll go with Marvel DC fan. What do you think that the Avengers building is in the Spider-Man game?
I mean, it's interesting because on the one hand, like it would be cool to see an interconnected universe of games that from different developers, but all connected in one space. But with that said, as of now, I'm just certain on the fact that it's just a reference to, the larger Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, they had it in other games like Ultimate Spider-Man: Web of Shadows. Like they'll mention Tony Stark or Reed Richards or something like that. Maybe they'll show off the Avengers building or the Triskelion or whatever. So, I mean, it's a neat idea, but for right now, I don't want to be confident in the fact that they'll actually do it.
Yeah, I got you.
So for right now, it's just the Avengers building in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at least. Like,
if they
do it, if they do it, it's cool. But as of now, I'm not confident on it just yet.
Yeah.
If they do say they want to do it, that's cool. But for right now, I think it's just its own thing. So.
Yeah, I got you. I think it's just interesting that it's going to happen. And just because, like, I think Marvel games will try to do it because it's ambitious, right? They try to do this with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think they even want to do this in the gaming realm, per se. I wish, WB did this sooner than them because they started sooner, earlier. And I don't mean, that they should, ship out really bad games like Activision. I'm talking about like they can still make quality games and they just need to open up more studios for WB. That's what I think. But overall, Inspector, what are your thoughts? Do you think that they're going to plant the seeds, see how people react, or do you think that they're slightly maybe having it happen, or do you think it's just like it's just a reference or something like that, or it could go either way?
I think it can go either way, just because we still know almost absolutely nothing about the Avengers project, like what kind of game it is, and
what characters are going to be in it.
Characters are in it, yeah.
Well, except for I'll say this: they only show like the cap, not cap, shield, and like the whole glasses. That's about it for the CGI trailer.
Yeah. So, I think it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I know people love that saying. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But I just think these games are less worried about being connected and just being good games.
Oh yeah, no. That's what I think is gonna. This game isn't gonna like go overboard in like connecting tissue. You know what I mean? I think that this first and foremost is a game that's worried about quality. Will they do something like plant the seeds? I think they'll plant little drops of seeds. I don't think they're gonna go like, oh, Iron Man here, everybody here. Like, no.
As you said, if we connect it to the MCU, like the Phase 1, every movie was pretty much a standalone movie.
Yeah.
The only connecting tissue were the after credit scenes.
Yeah.
And then Phase 2, like it got bigger, and then like they started going too far with the Easter eggs. Yeah. And that kind of brought the movies down a bit, like Iron Man 3 and like I love Winter Soldier, but if you haven't watched all the previous Marvel movies, you would probably be lost.
Yep.
Same thing with Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're not engrossed in this universe, Infinity War is going to be nothing to you. Like if you haven't seen all the previous movies. So.
I even say that with Logan, dude. Like if you have not watched a Wolverine or X-Men movie, I feel like that the impact would not be there. That's what I think too. So it's like, but overall, I think there. Don't quote me on it. I think there will be a post-credit scene in the credits. Kind of like, I think because of the trailer, you know how they showed the game and then they made it like a post-credit that Miles Morales was in the game.
Yeah,
I think they'll do something like that at the end game for like the post-credits. I'll be definitely staying through the credits and looking for something.
Just imagine if they kill Spider-Man at the end and Miles.
Dude, I'd be pissed. No, dude, don't do that to me, man. I'd be very pissed. I don't even think I'll buy the second Spider-Man game, to be honest.
I don't think they'll do that. Insomniac wouldn't do that.
I hope no. Like, I'm fine if they kill him off in the third game or something, but not the first game.
Yeah, just give him like at least another game to kind of just let him be his own before you start thinking about killing
Miles. And having Miles replace him, I'm just like, just give him like a trilogy, and then you could do Miles whenever. And then I'll actually buy a Miles after 3 games of Peter Parker. Just don't get me to hate you, Insomniac. That's my advice there. Also, okay, Talati, what do you think about the Avengers Tower being in the game? You think that Marvel Games is trying to plant some seeds and possibly a post-credit scene?
I think there's a possibility of them accomplishing a wider universe, to be fair. Because they start off with Spider-Man, who's the most popular character in the gaming universe, right?
Yeah.
And they build on from that. So you have the Avengers product come out 2019 or 2020, and you say, okay, in Spider-Man PS4, we had this character, or like Iron Man, to be a post-credit character and be like, okay, you can join the Avengers or mini Avengers in that term, right?
Yeah.
And I could actually see that being the case, because you know what? This year, obviously, it's all about Marvel because they're putting out a lot of movies such as Avengers: Infinity War, and you've just had Black Panther as well. And the fact is that Wakanda's embassy as well is in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Wakanda embassy is in the game too.
Yeah. Wakanda's embassy is in the game, Doctor Strange's house is in the game, Avengers house is in the game, and you're like thinking, okay, there's a possibility of them building on different characters within that universe, and I think that could be the case. But obviously it won't come straight away. It'll be like Spider-Man, first game, post-credit scene, Avengers in project, second game, and then they build on so slowly, like a slow-paced type of thing, and I think that could be the case. Obviously, it's a shame that WB didn't think about this beforehand, because I think this would have been the perfect solution as well for WB. Because WB, what they need to do now is to focus on different characters and put them into the gaming world as well. So they've done the Batman Arkham franchise with Rocksteady, and now Rocksteady could build on that, and they could bring a Superman game or a Flash game or something like that.
I would even say this. I think they could do a Wonder Woman game. And that would be such an easy...
Or
easy game. Who can make a Wonder Woman game?
Yeah.
Rocksteady.
A Rocksteady?
Or no, you could even be Monolith Studio, to be honest.
Oh, Monolith, yeah. Or
the people that made Lord of the Ring, the Shadow War, because like they're well versed in the combat of the Arkham, and it has sword gameplay along with you can be able to add stuff to that.
Arrows,
I mean?
Like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. So it could be like that. I mean, there could be a development where WB could be like, okay, Spider-Man Spider-Man and Marvel have done this. We've got to match up to it now. So I think, personally, what Marvel has done is they've just beaten them to the punchline. And I think this is where WB and DC are going to have to pull a rabbit out the hat in the next next 2 or 3 months. I think that's going to be the case now. Because, I mean, basically Marvel have just pulled one over and said, Avengers is in it. And Wakanda's in it, so...
Yeah, and I'll even ask Inspector, because he's a big, Wonder Woman fan. Wouldn't you even agree that Wonder Woman would be in terms of gameplay mechanics, easy to do, essentially, in terms of combat? I would say, like, in terms of like sword fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, It kind of depends because is she gonna be able to fly or not? How are the bracelets going to affect combat?
Yeah.
How is the lasso going to interact with all the other weapons?
Yeah, I would say they would use it as like, like include it with the combos or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that would be so much easier to do than something like Flash.
Well, yeah, anything could be easier than Flash.
Yeah.
Like Flash is like one of the hardest things to do.
I even say Wonder Woman's easier than Green Lantern as well. Green Lantern is just...
I think Wonder Woman would be the easiest game to go to if you're not going to like Green Arrow or like another street level character.
Yeah.
I think Wonder Woman would be make like a God of War style or like Shadow like Middle Earth style Wonder Woman game.
Yeah.
But
That's what
it's
I
like,
I don't think like the parkour climbing would work for Wonder Woman though.
Oh no, I don't think so.
no. But I think, personally though, I think this is what's going to be the case. Then I think DC will probably take on the bandwagon, I think they'll be on the bandwagon of what Marvel has done, and they'll actually bring out a gaming universe, based it around their own Arkham universe, and just build on that foundation because their foundations are there.
Well, I'll say this but they have tried it though, and what I mean by that is that's the canceled Suicide Squad game. They tried to branch off and try to make this universe-esque Suicide Squad. It didn't work for them.
It didn't work for them because they gave it to the wrong studio.
Yeah, that's true enough. I'm saying that they need to...
And plus, like, all previous DC games weren't really that good. Like, if you look at, like, Justice League Heroes, that game wasn't really that good. Like, I guess the only decent game was probably like the Batman Begins tie-in game.
Yeah.
Like that.
I completely forgot about that.
Like, I don't want to mention like Batman Dark Tomorrow, which is one of the worst games ever made. But...
Ooh, that was that. Okay.
Yeah, I remember going back and playing that Batman the Animated Series esque. I think it's Batman Vengeance, right?
Yeah, Batman Vengeance and Batman Rise of
Rise of Sinzu. Yeah.
Yeah, Batman Vengeance.
I
only bought it because it was like
it was tied
exactly like the animated stuff. So.
It was tied. Would you believe this? That was tied into the animated universe as well.
Really? Yeah, I didn't even know that. I mean, I haven't played that game in ages.
So
Batman Vengeance,
and Batman Rise of Tenzu is both linked into the animated series.
Didn't even know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you can tell like right off the bat, like it is the animated style in a video game. So,
but it's like what I'm trying to say though is that what Marvel has done is to exceed on expectations with the whole Avengers bringing the towers in. I know it's a bit of a long shot, but I think they could do it. I think they probably will end up doing their own gaming universe.
Okay.
I think that though, but that's just me. You guys in the comment section, you guys can have your say as well about this stuff. We would love to hear this stuff.
Exactly. So, now going into some other interesting tidbits, I completely didn't know about this article, but for this, where is it? Here it is. So actually, they did announce that one of the DLC story content involves Black Cat, which for me, we've never gotten really a good Black Cat. I'll be honest. In any of the Spider-Man game, even Spider-Man 2, I did not like Black Cat.
She was okay in Web of Shadows, even though that evil ending was kind of weird. I
thought her voice actress was bad. I don't know.
Pretty much
Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much all the voice acting in Web of Shadows was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay was hella fun. I won't lie about that.
The game was fun. It's just the voice acting was not good.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, she was fit.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, Black Cat is
always.
Well, Black Cat always has a great personality, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but no, this would be interesting because, right, I'm pretty sure Peter Parker isn't with Mary Jane. I think they're not together. Like, they were together, but they're not in this game.
Yeah, I think they're like
separated.
Yeah.
Like they used to date, and I think I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe that's going to involve Black Cat somehow in the first 3 planned DLCs. So that's one of the first ones, which is going to be interesting. Do you think it's gonna? Okay? Well, I will say this and ask quick. Do you guys think Black Cat will be more of a enemy or more of a companion in this DLC helping you out? And I guess we're going with Inspector because we know like Black Cat is basically kind of like Catwoman essentially. Like,
she's basically like Catwoman.
I mean, I both like them, but like I will admit that Black Cat's very heavily inspired by Catwoman. Like,
I mean, they both like the only difference is that like Black Cat has like luck powers or something.
Yeah, luck powers and like. Also, they keep changing Black Cat's story sometimes.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like she got like the super soldier serum kind of like.
The thing about Black Cat is the same with Catwoman. It's like, well, what I'm about to compare them in that, like, Batman and Catwoman are getting married in the summer, which I'm not really that like big on, just because. I've never seen Catwoman as being attracted to Bruce Wayne as I see her being attracted to just Batman.
Yeah.
Like I thought Bruce spontaneously popping the question to her was like kind of weird because I've always liked the whole will they won't they type thing with Batman and Catwoman. It's kind of the same thing with Spider-Man and Black Cat. Yeah. But like the difference is that up until 2007, like between like 1985 and 2007, like Peter Parker always had Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And Black Cat was always like interesting, but he couldn't really get with Black Cat.
Yep.
And same thing with Batman has always been a loner. Like he always like pushes love interests away. Like and I never really considered Catwoman a love interest to Batman. I've always seen her as like a companion. Like they sometimes they fight together, sometimes they chase. And the whole thing about Batman and Catwoman is all about the chase. Like that's their whole like dichotomy with Batman and Catwoman. So with Black Cat, it all depends on what the context is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't really say if she's going to be a companion or if she's going to be an enemy because it all depends on what the context is.
Yeah, so. and I'll think this because we know Spider-Man in this game is experienced, right? He's been doing, he's been Spider-Man for 3 years or something like that. They've been saying. So, do you think they're going to have Black Cat as a new character, or do you think that she's going to be somebody that has had past experiences with Spider-Man?
That's hard because I don't know if in the comics Felicia Hardy was like in like the same grade, like the same age range as Peter. So I can't really say like they could always switch it and say like she's like in school with like Peter's like in college in this game, isn't he?
He's in college.
Yeah, so they could be like friends in college or like she's like in college with him or like something like that. Like Mary Jane has always been like a high school thing with Peter.
Oh yeah.
Like they were like high school sweethearts and all that stuff. So they could like.
Well, originally it was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, I know. Originally it was. Gwen
then they started changing it to Mary Jane.
Then it was Mary Jane. Well, I think did Betty Brant become before Mary Jane or after Mary Jane?
I think it's. I do too because sometimes I forgot reading it because I know Gwen Stacy. Her death because Mary Jane is best friends with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And they started to console each other, and that's how their relationship blossomed. But I don't know if Betty was due to a breakup with Mary Jane or that was before.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's always hard for me to remember that.
Yeah. So
That's like, dude, sometimes when reading all these Spider-Man stories, you start to forget some stuff.
Yeah. Plus, the '90s were pretty much a blur for Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like Maximum
Clone Saga.
Clone Saga. Like,
oh, gosh.
and then right after Clone Saga, you had Chapter 1. No one
God
liked
damn it.
Dude, it gets weird, dude.
Did
Norman
you read,
Osborn.
Did you read Chapter 1, Marvel DC fan?
Actually, yeah, I did. I checked it out years ago, like somewhere. I think I bought it off of Comixology, and like the reasons like the changes that they made to it were just like it's just they're like it's dumb. Like
Yeah, basically what they did is
mentioned
that they didn't modernize the origin. They just like put it back to like they just made the 1960s origin like Chapter 1 came out in like '98, and they just like redid the origin from '62 or whenever.
You know what pissed? Yeah,
not good.
You know
like,
what made me?
No one liked Chapter 1.
You know what made me angry? Where they kind of like said, Gwen Stacy was very loyal. It was very heavily established in the comics.
And then she slept with Norman Osborn.
Yes, that should do people pissed. And she had kids.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I think that's when Joe Quesada, because before that, J. Michael Straczynski, who was writing the book, had like a really like critically acclaimed run. Because in that same run, Aunt May figured out that Peter was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they had a conversation about it, and that I've heard that's one of the best Spider-Man issues, ever.
It really is. I read it myself, and it is like a genuinely great part of I can't even say his name. His run,
yeah. And then then near the end, I think that's when, because Joe Quesada and like the bigger ups at Marvel hated the Spider marriage, like they hated the Peter Parker Mary Jane marriage. So I think like near the end of his run, after the other ended, that's when like Joe Quesada started sticking his hands in J. Michael Straczynski, saying, "Oh, you need to." That's why Sins Past, which is that story where when Stacy slept with Norman, happened, and that's why One More Day happened, because One More Day was not Straczynski. That was pretty much all Joe Quesada. Yeah, that was pretty much all Joe Quesada. And then after One More Day, they had One Moment in Time, which I heard was even worse.
Yeah, it's bad.
One moment in time, or omits as it is, because One Moment in Time in a whatever it's called, an acronym, is omits. So I guess that there was kind of a play on words, a really crappy play on words, but whatever.
Yeah, but, something like that.
And then after that, Dan Slott took over Spider-Man. So
did a good job until Superior Spider-Man, and then after that, just went downhill. But Marvel, DC fan, got to get your input. Black Cat, friend, enemy, or do you think they'll have history because Spider-Man's been doing this for like 3 years?
I mean, like, if anything, they could go any way. Like, they could like age her down, or she's still the same Black Cat as usual. They could have like she is a villain, or like honestly, they could do anything they want with it. And if I'm honest, I'm not really sold like if they do age her down, because at this point they've been really following closely with Dan Slott's run. So I mean, they could do it if they wanted to, but I'm just not convinced that they will.
I gotcha. All right, Claudia, what do you think of Black Cat? You think she's going to be a friend, enemy, or do you think that they're going to have personal experience because he's been Spider-Man for 3 years?
That's a hard one, to be fair, because if it's been an experienced Spider-Man, you don't know if this Black Cat, if she's gonna be a love interest, or if she's gonna be an enemy. Me personally, I think she'll be in between.
Okay.
Like Catwoman is in the Arkham franchise. She was a frenemy. So I think that's going to be the case. The same thing. I think Black Cat will be like a frenemy type of thing. She'll be there to help you out, but at the same time, she can be your enemy. So I think that could be the case.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see till it comes out.
Exactly. And then quickly, wrapping up the Spider-Man. Very interesting, Talati was saying, there's Talati and Marvel DC fan, no microtransactions for this game. He's like, they asked him, microtransactions? He's like, hell no. And I'm like, thank you. And along with it, I want to also talk about, like, dude, the swinging looks amazing.
Yeah, the swinging looks great.
And I'm just like, I think it'll beat Spider-Man 2, to be honest. It's very like high adrenaline, and I think I'm gonna have like a very good time. And I completely forgot that there's like puddles. Like I didn't even notice that like, in terms of that. And I'm like, damn, that looks nice. Yeah, and there's rain too.
Mine is like, oh, it's raining.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love the swinging. Like it looks like it's very momentum based.
Yeah.
Like
inspired by Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, you start off slow, and then once you start swinging, you get faster. And with the added parkour elements, it's gonna be like it looks super smooth. Exactly. And I really like it.
And I like that like little movement where he kind of like when he goes forward, he can go like slightly backward, like turn around or something like that. I thought that was really, really cool there. And I was like, dude. And they also said that you're able to customize your suit. And I remember Greg was talking about this, but like no one really believed him. You know what I mean? Because Insomniac never confirmed. But you're able to customize your suit, and it's able to do different things. So I feel like that's kind of like slightly like RPG elements, I guess.
Yeah,
you can call it that.
Yeah, it sounds like more. Is it more like an upgrade tree, or is it like you get stuff in the world and you
like you're able to craft stuff, your suit, or some of your suit, and they also did say Uncle Ben will not be killed in the game, which is good to be honest.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
He's been Spider-Man for 3 years. We don't need to see Uncle Ben dying.
We don't need to have a memory of Uncle Ben dying again. Oh man, because it's good. They're finally like the homecoming
DLC mission.
No, hell no. Get me started there. I'll be hella pissed. No. And also, what else did they say? They said that that they will reveal more stuff for villains later on during the gameplay, during the Game Informer cover. But overall, I think the combat looks fluid. Of course, do I think it's inspired by Arkham? Yes, I think it's inspired by Arkham. But to be honest, it has its own spin to it. It's more acrobatic and more, faster.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense that Spider-Man could like leap across the screen.
Yeah.
That's Batman.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember the Batman like spinning move with the kick at like 10 feet flying. I'm like, damn son, that is some next level martial art shit that Bruce Lee never learned. But no, it makes sense the way he's going. And overall, I know some people are saying, dude, he knocked that thug into the ground. My dude, that thug needs to die. And I'm like, yeah, I won't lie, but you gotta like suspend your disbelief. Like, let's be real.
It's just like
it's to give you that satisfaction.
Yeah, it's just like when you hang someone from a gargoyle in the Arkham franchise and you cut them down, they land on their neck. They should be dead.
Oh yeah, in Arkham
they're unconscious.
Even in Arkham Knight, you could do the takedown of the like electrical box. I'm like, dude, that dude is brain dead.
Like no, what's even worse is like if you go up to the person with the Batmobile, you shock them and they fly like 20 feet in the other direction.
I remember that shit, dude. Yeah, dude, they'll sometimes even hit the building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that dude's dead. There's no way.
Like even with the riot suppressors, like
that I was like
I know they're rubber pellets, but they're doing some internal damage.
Something. There must be internal bleeding somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, overall, you just gotta suspend your disbelief. If you start nitpicking it, it's gonna get to the point where you're not gonna enjoy the game. It's just gonna be like that. When you're saying, dude, that person should be dead. And it's the same thing. Like I would never do something like that with the Arkham series or the Spider-Man game. There's no way, Jose. And overall, yeah, no, the graphics look great. Open world looks fantastic. Do reflections with the windows with the other buildings look great. And I can't wait. I can't wait to do these interesting things throughout the city. And yeah, I do say this. Hopefully, side missions are good. I hope them to be kind of like Witcher side quests, where they have their own little story. And I want that also to be with more of DC games as well to improve, because the side questions are kind of for like when you go back to like the Arkham series, they're kind of being outdated in the way side quests when you compare them to other games.
Because if you look at Arkham Knight side quests, they are very Ubisoft like inspired. Towers, checkpoints, like that. Those are very like Ubisoft, like Far Cry-esque side missions.
Yeah.
And like those were the weakest side missions in Arkham Knight.
Yeah, to be honest. And then it's like you want more interaction with the villains as well.
Yeah, and
Two-Face I felt was just not that.
Yeah, Two-Face was wasted in both City and Asylum. Not Asylum. City and Night.
Yeah.
I wish they used Two-Face more, but I guess they just couldn't fit him in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like hopefully
Two-Face is my favorite Batman villain, so
yeah. And I was saying like they just need to do that with the other sub villains that they have them, because they do. Shocker's in it. I hope we get like a story subplot with Shocker. You know what I mean? With his own side quests. You interact, talk with him, and not just be like, oh, you're the end boss battle, and that's it. Like I'm gonna be disappointed with something like that. You know what I mean? And I hope that they go with that route in other superhero games moving forward.
Final boss, Shocker.
Nah, it's like you're facing his beings, it's like, yo, it's me, Shocker. It's like
then like Shocker takes you. He's like Mary Jane. like the 90s, the 90s animated show.
God, that cartoon is fantastic but terrible at the same time.
Did you not know that they don't punch, like Spider-Man doesn't?
Yeah, he doesn't punch anyone.
Yeah,
there is 3 punches. There are 3 punches throughout the entire show.
One of my favorite, like a few months ago, a few friends of mine from Discord, we were on Rabbit, and we were watching episodes from the Spider-Man animated series. And we were watching the episode like Symbiote Saga where Venom first appeared, and there's this scene where Venom's in the trunk honking the horn, and it's one of the funniest images ever.
Oh my god! Wait, was this when he like transformed into Venom? He just started like
he's like chasing Spider-Man. He's in a truck and he honks the horn. It's like one of the most hilarious images ever.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I need to watch the Spider-Man animated show, dude. This shit, like some of that shit's funny though. But yeah, overall, I'm trying to think of anything else looking at these articles. But other than that, like I hope more suits. Oh, they also I want to say this. Everyone's been asking about the balloons, like my balloon from like Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that, and also the pizza delivery. Dude, I wish they made a comeback. One little mission, just one. But they said, yeah, hunting down balloons will not happen along with the Spider-Man, the pizza mission for Spider-Man 2.
If anything, I would want the pizza theme to appear in some way. Like Spidey swings by like a pizza shop or something like that, and they have that
Mr. Aziz shop.
I would love to hear that in the game.
And I hope, like in Ultimate Spider-Man, he just has like such savage puns for Kingpin. Like if you've read Ultimate Spider-Man,
oh yeah, he does.
He rips apart Kingpin.
Dude, I always laugh.
Hilarious.
Also, you're able to also have photo mode in the game too, which I think is good, because a lot of Sony PlayStation games have photo mode, and dude, people take some gorgeous ass pictures for photo mode. With all you see that Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, and
photo mode has become like a huge thing.
Yeah,
like Arkham Knight, like they added photo mode into Arkham Knight, and everybody loved it.
Exactly.
Like,
and Shadow of Colossus too, dude.
and
Also,
Last of Us.
Did they put photo? Are they putting photo mode in God of War or no?
yeah, I think so. I think they said that photo mode will be in God of War. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Taking nature abilities. Oh, you can take photos of gold cats for black cats. So, okay, so she's not gonna be in the. I don't know if she's gonna be in the main game, but she's gonna be a part of the post DLC. But taking photos of gold cats for black cat. Okay, and then Taskmaster is also in the game. Actually, who's? I'm trying to remember who Taskmaster is.
He's kind of like an anti-hero kind of, and he basically like he can read like combat patterns and like learn like every fighting style. So he's pretty much impossible to beat. He's it like he has like a skull mask and like a hood. He kind of looks like Phantasm.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not really.
He was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he's got like the skull mask. He's got like a Captain America shield with a sword. Like, he's a weird but like interesting character.
Yeah. Also, okay, and also Spider-Man can high five, take selfies, and point finger guns at passers-by. Okay, you could just say citizens. All right, that's cool. Also,
I don't know if sorry, but I don't know if you saw this also, but they have a fast travel.
Oh, yeah, you're able to go on the
system in
subway. Like Spider-Man's just chilling there on his phone.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I loved it. Oh my god.
No, it's a total like Spidey move to do. Also, the game story takes place over the course of a few weeks. I think that's a good thing because I'm not gonna lie though. I think also that's what I always wanted. I was like, Batman. I like even the Batman games. I'm like, dude, it always happens one night. And dude, I'd be like, if I was Batman, I'd be destroyed after like maybe the second boss battle. I'd be like, I'm going to bed, Alfred. See ya.
I'm going home.
I can't deal with this. Facing Bane, facing all these people. Like, no. I think I would like to see more stories take place over the course of a few weeks. I think that's more. I don't know. I feel like it's more believable in a way than just, one night. And also Mary Jane is going to surprise a lot of people in the game. So I don't know. And she's also aware of Spider-Man's true identity. But she and Peter are currently not romantically involved. Okay. So they don't have a thing yet. But that doesn't make sense. So they don't have a thing, but she knows his identity. That doesn't make sense. Just saying, like she found out about Peter being Spider-Man, because they had been romantically involved usually in the comics. So that to me is like, I don't know about that one, unless they're just good friends and they're gonna try to do that angle. But yeah, but that is really basically all the major announcements. But yeah, I guess we'll start with Marvel DC fan. What do you think about all this stuff? Mary Jane being integral and they're not romantically involved, but she does know he's Spider-Man and the game takes place over a few weeks and all that stuff. And also those selfie high fives and pointing guns at, people.
I mean, like all the coverage and stuff that I saw like on Twitter and what people have been talking about, like developers and stuff like that, it makes me interested to try out these things when the game actually does come out, like high-fiving pedestrians and taking the subway to, some area or whatever, or, how, Mary Jane and Peter will work within the parameter of the story, because they're not together, but like they still team up when he's in costume. Like I'm sure they'll come up with some explanation for that, but I'm interested, to say the least, on all these new additions and I can't wait to play the game.
Yeah, and I'll say this: we're gonna continue on the podcast to talk about it once there's like some more new stuff to talk about. Inspector, final thoughts, about the last bit of information I talked about with Mary Jane knowing he's Spider-Man, but they're not currently romantically involved, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like it kind of makes sense. Like if I assume they're not currently romantically involved, since I bet they were romantically involved when he was still in high school, and they kind of like broke off. So it kind of makes sense that she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the rest of the coverage is interesting. Like, that's all I have to say. Like all the rest of the coverage was interesting.
Yeah, and just there's going to be some more stuff, throughout the month.
Throughout the month, yeah.
So we'll talk more about that the next couple of weeks. Also, Claudia, what do you think? What do you think about the whole Spider-Man's true identity of Mary Jane knowing, but they're not currently romantically involved, and also the high fives and shooting those guns at
the high five thing.
Mm-hmm.
The high five thing I really like. Obviously the subway thing, I'm a bit iffy on that because Spider-Man doesn't need to take a subway.
I mean, you don't have to. It's like if you want to fast travel.
I know it's a fast travel thing, so you don't really have to use it.
I mean, I'm gonna do it sometimes. If it's hella far away, I'm gonna fast travel, man.
Yeah,
but it's like, but the whole identity thing, I'm a bit, because you don't even know if Mary Jane was with him.
Well, it says, but she and Peter are currently not romantically. They're not currently romantically involved. So you can. So to me, when I think about it, is that they before were, because why would he tell a friend like a person like Mary Jane that, hey, I'm Spider-Man? I think they were a thing, and he told her, but something happened and they broke it off.
It could be, yeah, it could be, but I'm a bit iffy on that, man. If I totally be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see though when the game comes out, and obviously the whole photo mode as well being also being in the game. I think that was kind of because of what Batman Arkham Knight did. So it'd be interesting to see some really cool web swinging and stuff like that.
Yeah, photos. I can't wait to see people's photos though. It's gonna be.
Yeah, I know. Insomnia would be on that shit, and they'd be say, "Hey, show us some really cool photos of used web swinging and shit like that."
Yeah, I think Sony does a good job with their first party and like these type of games, because it's not a first party game. It's actually like
third party.
No, it's not third. It's second party, because Sony doesn't own Insomniac, so it's gonna be great. But that is it for the gaming side of things, and we just only got a couple other topics. That includes, I want to quickly talk about the cancellation of the Deadpool animated series, which is very interesting, because the reason why I think it's interesting is Deadpool movie got leaked, right? It got leaked because the same thing was happening. They weren't greenlighting it. And like to me, I think this would have been great. I don't know why it's not happened. Granted, they did say that one of the episodes would have been making fun of Taylor Swift, and to me, it's like FX, like, I don't know. If I were a businessman, I still would have greenlit the show. Or I mean, they did greenlit the show, but they canceled it. I think that's like a total Deadpool thing to do. But you kind of get into the territory of, oh, well, Taylor Swift, sue them for doing something like that. And you'll never know with celebrities. Sometimes people can't take jokes, and they'll be like, oh, you know what, sue. But for me, I think the Deadpool show needs to happen. It's very interesting. Even like I saw like the final episode script for Deadpool, and dude, I was laughing my ass off. Like Donald Glover is a very funny dude. I'm not gonna lie. He was a showrunner for this, so I think it would have been really cool for that to happen. But what do you guys think, essentially, of Deadpool, that animated show, being canceled, so to speak? Yeah, we'll start off Inspector.
To be honest, it was really not on my radar. So like I didn't even know that it was greenlit. So like I can't really say anything on it.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Deadpool fan, so yeah, I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
And plus, like, yeah,
That's chill. More of a DC fan. What do you think?
I was kind of like Inspector, where like after the announcement, like I mean that was cool, and then just went under my radar for like since then. And I still like I probably was gonna watch it anyway through some way. But I mean I'm a little disappointed because the test footage that was cool, like that was interesting, and uh, I have been meaning to finish the script that Dominic Glover put out, and like it was like I got like halfway through, and I'm still gonna finish it sometime. But like what I've read so far, it was good. So, I mean, I'm not. I don't remember if it was like. I think somebody said it was like creative differences between Donald Glover, or with FX and Donald Glover, or I think I saw a rumor saying that Marvel wasn't really proud of it and decided to pull the plug on it, or like something. But it's a little upsetting. I hope through some way, maybe by the
They
fans.
leaked that footage, so if
Yeah,
the fans want it, man, hopefully that'll change their minds.
yeah, like maybe with fan outcry, maybe we could get it back, possibly. But it would have been interesting to watch. So.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would have been a hit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Talati, what do you think about the Deadpool animated show being canceled and one of the people working on the show leaking it?
Well, firstly, them leaking it is actually a bad thing for them to do, because firstly, it would bad represent yourself if you ever get another job with a different company.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds leaked it. Deadpool the movie, to be honest.
Well, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Ryan
that's
Reynolds
true.
get away with it though. Ryan
Oh no,
Reynolds
I know
gets
it's
away-
Ryan Reynolds. I'm just saying though.
He gets away with it, but if he was an actual employee, then he won't be able to work in
Don't worry, dude. If you get in trouble, you're the real MVP. I support you.
But for them canceling it, I think it's kind of a good move. Personally.
Really?
Yeah. Because Deadpool as a character, yeah, he breaks the fourth wall, but we don't know how extreme of extreme they would have gone.
Me, I would just be go extreme as you possibly can because
Nah, but it's not Spider-Man though. Like how Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man was when Deadpool was in the episode.
Deadpool was trash.
Deadpool was
too
that, but think about it. Deadpool to that audience, target audience, was alright. But what
that wasn't even Deadpool though. That was just I don't know what to call that thing. That was no Deadpool.
Just a guy in a Deadpool suit.
Yeah, not my Deadpool.
Like bad
not your Deadpool, okay, but it's like obviously my opinion is, but don't forget this is my opinion. It's the fact that I don't think it would have, if they did the animated cartoon series, I don't think it would definitely meet the requirements for kids. It won't.
But the thing is, it wasn't aimed for kids. It's on the FX channel.
FX is an adult channel.
Yeah.
Adult channel cartoon.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Like
what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, there was a Spawn series on HBO, and that was
Adult Swim. Like
that's what I'm telling you, dude.
Okay, forget about Adult Swim. Okay, forget that. That's not the question. Okay, but the fact is, right? If this was the case, why are they doing it? They should just do like not a cartoon, but like a mini live action.
I mean, they already have live action with the movie.
But the movie is almost done. Well, the movie kind of ain't going to continue on after number 2, is it?
X-Force.
Think about it.
I just said X.
X-Force, and they'll probably make another Deadpool sequel.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like a Deadpool cable
Maybe
movie.
that's
or
a big
some
maybe
form
though.
of
That is a big maybe.
I mean, let's think about it, right? The merger, whatever Disney doing, whatever, if it goes through, Disney has stated that they're not going to mess with Deadpool in terms of make it PG-13.
But to me, like, I liked Deadpool, like the movie, but I don't want too much Deadpool because too much Deadpool is really grating.
Oh no, I agree. I don't think we're gonna get another Deadpool for a while. I mean, you have X-Force,
Yeah,
that's gonna be its own separate entity.
That's probably one of the reasons why they canceled it too, because they didn't want overexposure for Deadpool. Because I know there's a lot of Deadpool fans, but even Deadpool fans would say, like, too much Deadpool is a bad thing because his it's pretty much shtick since he breaks the fourth wall all the time. His shit kind of gets old. Like, it's like breaking the fourth wall is cool for the first 3 or 4 times, but when it gets to the 100th time, it's kind of like, like there's only so many times you could do a Ferris Bueller joke.
Yeah.
But
do you? I don't think it's overexposure. I think it was they thought it was too extreme. That's what I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
The Deadpool movie was pretty extreme.
Yeah, but you know,
but the thing is,
think about, like, I'll say this because they even had like a whole episode dedicated to Taylor Swift. So like, like making fun of her and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, he's going out like singing and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, he's like mocking her. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. Yeah, that's not really my type of humor. So.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I got you.
Yeah. So.
But like for me, like, yeah, Deadpool 3 won't happen for a while. You got X-Force, which is not going to be a Deadpool movie. You'll have his same crack jokes, but it's not going to be like a Deadpool movie. So like you won't have Deadpool for, I don't know, what year will Deadpool 3 come out?
2021, 2022?
No, I said 2023 or 4.
Knowing how Fox keeps pushing their movies back, it probably won't come out until like 2026, 2028, something like that. They keep pushing their movies back.
Me, I think it's like Deadpool for me. It's different because I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is a part of it. I think it'll come out in 2023.
I know. I think.
But then the Disney thing will be different by then. So it's like
no, not the Disney thing. I just think, like, I think Deadpool might overstay his welcome past Deadpool 3 or maybe even X-Force, because I think Ryan Reynolds has such a hand in that character that Ryan Reynolds makes all the decisions. That's kind of why Tim Miller left. I think he had creative differences with Ryan Reynolds.
Well, yeah. Well, the rumors were saying like he was not going to make Deadpool the same though. So it's like in terms of Deadpool would be different.
Yeah, like I think he said he wanted to make a bigger budget and make it more action heavy, and that's basically what he did with Deadpool 2. So he basically said, "Screw Tim Miller. I'm just gonna do the same thing."
Well, no, I thought some of the rumors were saying like he was gonna make it like not humorous and like different. That's what I was hearing. I don't know if I was right. I could be
from what I heard or what I remember. Miller wanted to, get a bigger budget, more action, that stuff. And then Reynolds wanted to keep it kind of like that raunchy style that the first movie was. So that kind of conflict kind of circulated, and it got to the point where Tim Miller just decided to flat out quit out of it. Like, at least that's what I remember. It might not be 100% true, but like...
I got you.
Yeah.
So, and also we're gonna quickly talk Flash. so THR was reporting that Flashpoint isn't happening. It's going to be a different thing. I don't know what the new title will be. Probably Flash, to be honest, like Aquaman. I don't know if it's not really. I don't know. I don't think it's a surprise, to be honest. To me, it's like they were having rumblings about restarting. I don't think Flashpoint was the way to do it. But like for me, like I think this is a sure thing. I don't think Flashpoint's going to happen. I think Flash is just going to have his own standalone film, and I think I don't know when that movie will come out. It seems like it. You guys think it'll come out before Batman or the same year as Batman?
I think it'll come out after.
After Batman. Okay.
Knowing that they don't have a
Yeah,
script,
maybe after.
knowing that they don't have a script yet, and they're still in pre-production, like they're not even in pre-production yet. So,
But do you, like Inspector, are you surprised that it's not going to be a Flashpoint anymore?
not really. I've never wanted the Flash movie to be a Flashpoint movie. I've always been against it.
Yeah. Because the rumors were like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, I think originally it was going to happen. I mean, you had the logo, so it's like, but now it's like I don't know what's happening. It's like we don't have a clear picture of what DC wants to do.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like they need to tell us their slate and not just show us the same slate that they've been showing us for the past like year or so. They need to tell us what movies are actually in production. Like not what movies are like greenlit or impossible, like possibilities. They need to give us movies that are actually happening, which are at this point Shazam, Wonder Woman 2, and Aquaman. And like those are the only 3 movies that are on the schedule. Like Batgirl, like Joss Whedon left Batgirl, so that's back wherever it was. So they're probably just going to rewrite the whole thing and start it from scratch.
Yeah.
Batman is still in writing phases, and they haven't even casted it yet. So, and Matt Reeves said it's going well. Like that could mean anything. Like saying it's going well doesn't mean like we're far along. It just says, oh, like we're doing well. Like it's a very vague statement.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm that's why I'm kind of worried for their Comic-Con panel, because they need to really like
I don't know, like
pull everything together.
Yeah. But the thing is, the only thing I think we're gonna get from Comic-Con is Aquaman.
Yeah, that's the only thing we're gonna get.
And I don't even think Wonder Woman will even have a trailer by then.
Yeah, Wonder Woman won't have a trailer by then. It's way too early for Wonder Woman to have a trailer.
So
like, they'll probably announce more castings. They'll probably show like concept art. They'll probably show like logos. Like,
but do you think it's enough to warrant them to have their own booth this year or have their own like presence or something like that?
I mean,
or do you think they could do this online?
Well, because usually the DC panel is like smashed together with the actual like Warner Brothers panel.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so like they could just have like a little like thing at the end, like a little like a half an hour segment at the end.
Yeah.
That's like shows the trailer, because that's basically what that's basically what last year's was. It was just like half of it was, or like 3/4 of it was like regular WB stuff, like Ready Player One,
yeah,
and all that stuff, and then the last half was DC, and at that point it was Justice League. So this year is probably going to be Aquaman, and maybe like pictures from Shazam, or like concept art, or like stuff from Shazam. I don't think there's going to be a trailer for Shazam. Probably not until like October or November. probably with Fantastic Beasts. But yeah, I'm not expecting that much from San Diego Comic-Con from DC. I think DC is more focused on their comics than they are their movies.
Yeah,
Knowing how many shakeups are happening
I agree.
on the comic side, and plus there's news a couple days ago that Diane Nelson, the president for DC, she's taking a leave of absence. She's not stepping down, but she's taking a leave of absence because like she says she's like really burnt out and she had like back surgery last year, so she has to like still recover from her back surgery. And
Yeah.
some people are like jumping to conclusions like, oh, it's blah 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 WB blah blah blah. She's leaving. She's gone. When she's not. She's just taking probably like a 3-month, 4-month absence, and like in her place, Jeff Johns. And I think the 3 people that are going to be running DC are Jeff Johns, Jim Lee, and Dan DiDio. So yeah, that's what I gotta say.
Yeah, I got you. More of a DC fan. What do you think about Flashpoint? You know, not being Flashpoint anymore, just a standalone solo Flash film.
I'm with Inspector where I didn't want it to be a Flashpoint movie. Like there was a stint for a while, like when all the rumors like Ben Affleck and stuff were happening, and I'm like maybe that could work. But then after Justice League, I'm like, yeah, like there needs to be a Flash movie of just the Flash being the Flash, because like he had his time in Justice League, which really didn't amount to much, and like he wasn't really fleshed out that well. So having a movie where it's just him running around Central City fighting the Rogues, stuff like that, that could work. That could have worked for a movie. Like that's what I want, and hopefully DC will and Warner Brothers will try to lean towards it. I'd hope, because like Flashpoint, they're setting up all these things which haven't really been explored that much in the DCEU and stuff like that. So, and like for like as the movies stand now, I just want to see, like Inspector said, I want to see like an actual slate, because it's like 3 movies that are actually in the middle of something, like actually doing filming or whatever, or that are actually fully processed and they're actually going to go through with it. 2 movies that are still in sort of development hell, kind of, and then like just a bunch of greenlights and stuff like that. So
yeah,
if they have the slate come out of what they're going to be doing for the next, like, I don't know, few years, I can be relieved a little bit. So yeah,
I got you. What about you, Talati? What do you think about Flashpoint not being Flashpoint, a standalone movie?
I think that's a good move. Personally, I think as well that so then they can focus mainly on the Flash. Maybe they can do something with the Rogues Gallery, like what Marvel DC fans said, or they can do something with Reverse Flash and something based around his family, and do like a flashback type of thing where they give you a little bit of his family, how his mother and father, how his father got into prison, or how things have changed. Reverse Flash comes and say, "Hey, look, Barry, you could do this," and obviously it won't be Flashpoint, but they could have like a mini fight or something, and that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously it won't be Flashpoint. So.
All right. So we got like 2 or 3 more topics, and then we are done. Some very interesting news, and that is the guy Stephen DeKnight, right? He was the showrunner of Daredevil season 1. Great season, great season. He stepped away, went to do Pacific Rim Uprising. Trash movie. And Stephen DeKnight, I think he's good at doing, as a showrunner. I think he's great at that and should stick with that, right? People should stick with what they're, good with. You know what I mean? Like M. Night Shyamalan, great with small budget. Ava DuVernay, great with small budget. I think the same thing goes with Stephen DeKnight. One, he should just do shows, and he's a showrunner. Well, I know he was doing press junket for Pacific Uprising. They said, if you were to go back and do like, a Netflix show or, something, what would you do? And he'd be like, he was essentially like, oh, I would want to do a Moon Knight show. And I was like, that actually makes perfect sense for him to do a Moon Knight show, right? Because he has that background of making very good characters in shows, not in like movies. But he's great in doing that, and I think he would be able to pull off a Moon Knight show when we've seen what he did with Daredevil season 1. And I think that this should be greenlit because everyone's been asking. Everyone's actually been very clamoring for Moon Knight. It's like, oh, will there be like a Moon Knight like cameo or Easter egg or something? Punisher Moon Knight? Yes. Because I always heard that. And I was like, I hope. For me, like I think Moon Knight for Netflix is right there. That is a sure thing. Like I think people will be interested. You got fans asking for it, begging for it. And I think it'll be great. And I think it's something I can get behind, just like I was behind with the Punisher. But Marvel DC fan, what do you think of Stephen DeKnight wanting to do a Moon Knight show for Netflix?
I actually would love to see a Moon Knight TV series to explore a character that is like he has its fans, but like it's not very mainstream. So like putting him in the Netflix show and expanding upon his mythology and all that, I think it works for a TV show.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And with the track record of what he's done with Daredevil and that kind of stuff, I think if it were to happen, it could be really good.
Yeah, exactly. I will say this, but with Pacific Rim Uprising, not many people liking it. You think he should just stick with the TV shows and the being a showrunner and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think he should probably just stick to being a showrunner.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Spectre, what do you think of him, doing the Pacific Rim Uprising, and that if he should stick to doing shows and being a showrunner and possibly doing Moon Knight?
Yeah, I didn't see Pacific Rim Uprising mainly because I didn't like the first Pacific Rim. Mm-hmm. So, and I think there are some TV directors that translate, like, that do well when they do the movies. Like, say what you want about Joss Whedon, like, currently, but you can't really take away Avengers. So, and he went from Buffy, like, not a lot of people like Serenity, but, like, he went from, which it was his first movie because he directed Serenity, but, like, he went from Buffy to Avengers, then, like, and he kind of went down from there. Same thing kind of with the Russos, because I think the Russos were on Community. Were they writers on Community or some?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, and then they become probably the best directors that the MCU. Like, they're trusting the Russos with their biggest movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think I think even tonight, as you said, I think he's great with small budgets, like smaller budgets, even though like Daredevil and those Netflix shows are pretty expensive for TV shows. Like $4 million an episode is pretty expensive for an episode. I mean, it's not Game of Thrones level where it's like 10 million.
Oh yeah, oh, Game of Thrones way. Dude, next season way more.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he should just stick to being a showrunner. And as for Moon Knight, like, I mean, I would be interested, but I've kind of lost interest in the Marvel Netflix shows, to be honest. Like, the last one I fully watched was Daredevil season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still haven't watched Punisher. I couldn't get through the first season of Jessica Jones, so I'm not going to watch the second.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not into those type of shows, like for like Jessica Jones, like noir,
I just don't have time.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Understandable.
I just think they should just cut the shows down. Like there's like even for 13 episodes, they seem a bit long. Like
it's usually the Netflix format, so it's like for me like those are really like the only shows I watch, or I go to bed when watching shows.
Making them 8 episodes long will make them easier to binge than 13 episodes.
Yeah, because like even like Series of Unfortunate Events, I'm watching that, and dude, like I think it's 10 or 13 or something like that for season 2, and I'm like, yeah, Netflix, dude, they just crank out the shows, man. It's like there's no other, so it's like a lot of stuff. I have a backlog of Netflix shows to watch. I haven't even gotten to season 2 of Jessica Jones yet.
So. Neither have I.
Yeah, and also, Talati, what do you think? Do you think Steven DeKnight needs to stick with, being showrunner for shows, and also, what do you think about him possibly doing a Moon Knight show?
I just think he should stick to what he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I pretty much gotta think. Because I haven't seen Pacific Rim or Pacific Rim #2. So.
Yeah. Just don't see Pacific Rim Uprising. Just don't.
Okay, I won't watch it then. So.
Yep. All right. So one of the last tidbits, and I think it's just funny in general, is of course the Russo brothers. And I know what they were trying to do. I was trying to be like, hey guys, they write a letter to the fans saying, basically, don't spoil the movie. Please don't. Thanos demands your silence. And, I know what they were trying to do, but you damn well know no one's going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with their screenings, they're only showing like 30 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not showing like the whole movie. So
but they're showing different sections, though. That's the thing. That's what they're saying.
I know, but they're not going to show like the last 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't think they'll do that, but they don't want people saying, like, oh, this 30 minutes, this has happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get pissed. I'd be like,
yeah.
I'm done.
I mean, yeah, like, I think it was, like, it was for the it was for, like, the fans, but I think it was also for, like, the bloggers. Because the bloggers love doing, like, scene descriptions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it was mainly for the bloggers, because bloggers get a lot of traffic for, like, those trailer descriptions or, like, scene descriptions or, like, footage descriptions or, like, whatever. So I think they're just cutting down on that. Because Marvel is, like, really strict with their NDAs. Or, like, Disney is, like, really strict with their NDAs.
Yeah.
But I like how they're keeping all this like really tight knit, because like I don't want it spoiled for me. So I think it's smart for them to have the premiere like really close to the movie, even though people are saying like, oh, they're keeping it so close to the movie. It's like I think that's smart of them.
And I was hearing my friend, I don't know why, he watches TV spots. He's surprised like that there's not much that they're just, essentially showing in the TV spots. You were saying like essentially the same stuff from the old trailers. There's like really nothing new.
Yeah, there's like one scene of Iron Man just standing, like for 1 second or like a half a second.
So, like, do you think that they're going a different way of the TV spots as well?
Yeah, because I think they will, because I think they are, just because, as I said, they don't want things spoiled. Like, people don't want things spoiled for them.
Yeah.
So, and like previous Marvel movies, like Age of Ultron and Civil War, like I use Age of Ultron and Civil War as an example because Civil War had way too many TV spots, and they basically showed the entire movie.
Yeah, it was like different scenes and everything.
Yeah, and Age of Ultron, like they basically released a clip of every action scene except for like the last action scene. So I'm like, like when like in Age of Ultron when the Hulkbuster fight happened, I'm like, this is cool, but I saw all this in a trailer, so I'm not hyped up. So.
Okay. I'm a DC fan. What do you think about the Russo brothers, typing up that message and also, demanding the silence from fans and bloggers alike?
Like, okay, I had a little laugh myself after I finished reading the letter, and I think it is like an interesting idea to keep the movie so close to the chest that you had to write a letter to every fan, blogger, whatever, just to keep that secrecy. But the thing is, with the internet, nobody's gonna do it. Like, like after the screening stuff, somebody will spoil it and then it'll just spread like wildfire. So, and like, it's just, I mean, it was funny, but like, it won't end well for anybody after that screening. So,
I agree. What about you, Claudia? What do you think about the Russo brothers making that letter with a gauntlet and saying, like, Thanos demands your silence, and to the movie bloggers and the fans alike?
It's firstly, I can understand from where they're coming from, but really telling everyone don't spoil it. There's gonna be spoilers anyway. Like I can assure you on this. Like, I've seen this happen with Star Wars. I've seen this happen with Justice League. I've seen this happen with Civil War, where people were just spoiling the movie even before the movie was even released. So, I mean, I can understand from where it's coming from, but you won't be able to stop them though. So,
I gotcha. All right, guys.
For sure Jeremy Conrad is going to spoil everything.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I agree. That
Grace Randolph.
Dude, yeah. Grace, dude, I don't understand how she still gets invited to movies. Is beyond me.
Yeah.
She does not deserve all of that. Dude, I still think it's hilarious though that Tom Holland was essentially like, "Oh, this was totally meant for me," because, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Tom. I'm pretty sure Tom actually spoiled some stuff for.
No, I think that letter was meant for Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, dude, Mark. I feel bad for Mark, dude. The Instagram thing, like when Thor Ragnarok was going on, like he didn't turn out the live stream until like someone's like, "Yo, Mark, your live stream's going on when the movie's on," and he's like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Mark, please." Is this, oh man, my boy Mark. And the last thing, CW. Although Black Lightning is now an official part of the greater DC television universe, Stephen Amell wants to do an Arrow and Black Lightning crossover, and that's cool. I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, I fell out with Arrow. I fell out with. was never interested in Black Lightning, but if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, go check out Arrow Black Lightning. They renewed Flash again. They renewed Legends of Tomorrow, and they renewed Arrow, and also I think those are Supergirl. They renewed all those shows besides iZombie, because that's somehow owned by DC. I didn't even know that.
And again, they renewed Supernatural again.
Dude, I don't. Dude, if I were one of
How
those
is that show
actors,
still going on?
if I was one of those actors, I'd be like, dude, I'm done. I'm retired.
I think what they're doing is that they're canceling it after the 300th episode, because I think the 300th episode is like in the middle of the next season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just gonna cancel it like right in the middle of that season. It's just gonna be like really weird.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if it goes another season, dude. That like
because this is the 14th season. This is
that the longest show?
Like, this is the longest running CW show.
Jeez.
Like,
it used to be Smallville, right?
Smallville lasted for a decade.
That's crazy.
And this has lasted for 13 years. This is going to be their 14th season, I think.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this: not interested in Flash. I don't think they're getting their shit together. I'm hearing worse things about this show, and I'm glad I dropped it. I heard like, what's her name? Iris is a leader of the Flash team. Like, what? I'm just like, when I heard that, I was just like, wow.
They did a mini thing with what's his name, Kevin Smith, and they talked about the Flash TV show, and pretty much that confirmed season 5. So they renewed that.
Yeah. I said they renewed the Flash. They basically renewed all DC CW shows besides
iZombie.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about like they always make a big deal about Kevin Smith directing episode, but the tone for Flash, like the tone for the show is so set that like the directing by Kevin Smith doesn't really matter because it's going to look the same as every other episode.
Yeah.
It's written by the same people. It looks the same. He's just
directing it. Yeah.
So it like if like the previous Kevin Smith episodes that he directed, if you didn't tell me they were like directed by Kevin Smith, I would say, oh, they're just a typical Flash episode.
Yeah, no, I totally would.
Like I dropped Flash to like this season has been so bad. Like
you dropped it, yeah.
Yeah, like I dropped it
because it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, like season 3 really put a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
because it started off really bad with Flashpoint, and it just like for the first half everyone was so mopey, and I hated it. And then like they try to act happy, and it was like they're just trying too hard. And then like Grodd was wasted, and then like the only reason why they don't use Grodd is because they don't have the budget.
Yeah, they're not an HBO show.
Yeah,
so.
Because like whenever they use Grodd or King Shark, they blow all their budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they only have them for like 1 or 2 episodes. And like, if this show was only like Tom Cavanaugh, I would watch it because I like Tom Cavanaugh. But other than that, like I don't like anyone else. Like they made Barry unlikable. Like they made Barry like super unlikable.
Dude, they make all the love interests unlikable in the sequel.
Yeah, and it's just very
like the only love interest I've liked is Patty, and they took her off the show.
Oh, okay. I'll say I did like Patty. I don't know about that.
What they've done is they've just basically ruined the show. So I've dropped Supergirl. I've dropped The Flash mainly because of what it is.
Yeah, I dropped Flash. I also dropped Legends just because I got bored with Legends because it's just the same thing.
Yeah, it's repetitive. Yeah,
and I'm actually liking season 6 of Arrow. but I like season 5 a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I think season 6, even though it's kind of like in a not a slump, but like it's kind of gone down a little bit, mainly because I feel like this tension between the team is kind of forced, but and I feel like this vendetta that Dinah has against Laurel is kind of played out. I think I get why she's mad at her, but I think it's kind of played out.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But I'm enjoying it, and I feel that Arrow will probably end after the next couple seasons. I think Flash is probably going to end after this next season
Yeah, I can
because
see that being the
the
case as
viewer
well.
base is just continually dropping for Flash.
Mhm.
The viewer base is continually dropping for all these CW shows, and like all these CW superhero shows, like their average ratings are like 3K around there, and that's good for a CW show, but not good for an actual show. Because if you look at Gotham gets like 6K, so that's like double the viewers of Arrow, and that's basically the amount of viewers of Flash and Arrow combined. So, and I don't like Gotham. I dropped Gotham after the first season. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm not surprised that they're renewing it, but I won't be watching them except for Arrow probably.
I mean, it's like I don't know. Like I used to love the DC shows, the CW DC shows. I don't know. I just fell out, and I'm basically done with them.
I just think they have a tone problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like Flash has a major tone problem.
It's just like also like I know that CW is a drama show, all right. I know that, but like
They're basically soap operas.
like you could still make like the women, the love interests, like not hated. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like you could still have like make some like storyline where it makes sense for them to leave the hero, not to the point where it's not reasonable.
Just don't make them eye candy.
That too.
Like, yeah, Iris, like the actress is good looking, but like I don't like her character. Same kind of thing with Caitlyn. Like, I think they're great people. I just don't like their characters.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
Honestly, like I just dropped each show. Like I've been it's been a busy couple months, so I haven't been really able to watch an episode of anything in entirety, like of Flash or Arrow. Like I stopped watching Legends of Tomorrow after last season, and I completely dropped Gotham after the first episode. And I watched a little bit of Black Lightning, but I'm not too interested to finish off the season, so not watching that anymore. But like the Flash, I try to keep up with it through, like on Twitter and stuff like that. But like everything I see makes me more disappointed and makes me not want to watch the show anymore. Like Iris like becoming the leader of Team Flash and her getting Speed Force powers and all this stuff. Just like I don't care, and like Arrow, I want to try and get back to watching it, but it's just I don't know if I'm really convinced to.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
What about you, Claudia? What do you think? What do you think in general?
Personally, I've dropped most of the shows besides Flash and Supergirl. Well, I just want to see what the ending is because I started midway. Well, the first half of the season. I just want to see the ending.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna drop it, and then that'll be it in terms of TV shows. Because I don't watch Legends. I don't watch Arrow because unfortunately, it doesn't come on to it doesn't come on my network. Unfortunately. So it's like, and plus it's on the cable. Well, it's on the satellite side of things, and I don't have satellite. So it kind of sucks that I can't watch a really popular show. So yeah, that's the situation with me.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, that is gonna end the podcast, and I want to thank every single one of you guys that are watching and watching this as a past broadcast. And if you like this episode, give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from the Overlevel podcast, hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so you guys can get notified as when we live stream. And also comment below and let us know what are you guys interested in terms of Spider-Man. What are you guys most excited for? Because I know mostly the podcast was centered around Spider-Man because there was quite a bit of news and we were very excited and we just wanted to share it and give our thoughts on it. And you guys can also do that. And also, talk about God of War. Let us know. And guys, we're gonna do our outros now. And yeah. So, Inspector, where can they find you at?
They can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector.
All right. Marvel DC fan, where can they find you at?
Well, I have my YouTube channel, which is Marvel DC Fan X99. You can talk to me on Twitter, which is at Marvel DC Fan X99, and you can message me on Facebook if you want, which is just Marvel DC Fan on Facebook. Don't forget to like my stuff, comment on my stuff, ask me questions, whatever. Subscribe, share, all that fantastic stuff. We're moving through Crash, getting through the story, getting gems and stuff like that. And we are, afterwards, I've decided we're doing Walking Dead Season 2, so make sure you tune into that when that comes around. So, and yeah, take care.
All right, Talada, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter, which is at mtaladia. As well, you can find me on YouTube, which is Taladia Plays. I am currently working on a video for you guys, which is going to be revolving around me and RNG Gamer, which we're going to be talking about Spider-Man PS4 in depth. So we're just finding the right time for that. You can also find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Taladia Plays, where I do a variety of different games. Not only DC games, but I also do Fortnite, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and even the likes of a retro game that Xbox Live does. So I just pick up one of those games and I actually play them on stream for you guys. So make sure you come by and you can say hello. I don't buy it. So yeah.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for watching. This is the Overlevel podcast. Signing off.
See you guys.
See you guys later.